All right, guys, we're in here for episode 2, 5 for Talking, season dose. And a little upset, no one left any comments, guys. Leave us some comments, tell us what you think, give us some questions, and we'll be glad to answer them.
Don't be upset, huh?
So
Mostly questions.
Mostly questions. So
Questions.
here with my boy
I'm always right, so.
Campbell, Caps, and Barks. And yeah.
Bargs like the root beer.
Barks.
It's Bargs.
Barks. Well, yeah, so I'm going to start off by saying,
It's not Bargs.
what do y'all think about the Leafs?
Well, okay. First of all, sorry, I want to change the subject. How did you come up with the pick Kucherov?
Who, me?
Yeah. He's just killing it for you.
I told you, I did my research. I looked at
The guy is killing it this year.
I looked at projections, and like last year he had a lot of goals, right? So if you're gonna pick a goal scorer, try to get those extra points for hat tricks and stuff like that, he's up there with the goal scorers.
Yeah,
I think it just has a lot to do with Stamkos being healthy.
Made a few fluky picks as well that I didn't plan for, but pretended that I did and told you on right now that I did.
Okay, stay in third.
I'll stay in third. I don't need to win that pool. It's worthless.
I think that has a lot to do with Stamkos being healthy. If he can stay
Take your
healthy,
bucket
then,
trophy.
I
But
will.
even
Kucherov
Stamkos
doesn't
was
mean
unhealthy
anything.
last year, and Kucherov had a great
Yeah.
season.
but they're just killing it. They're killing it.
They are, and they were projected to win the cup too. So you can't go wrong with any player you pick on.
It's funny.
Tampa.
It's funny that the predictions that we made last year, who was supposed to go deep, are actually doing it this year. Lightning, Philly was, I think, a pick that I had that I thought was going to do well, and they're doing well this year. So, sorry, didn't mean to change the subject, but
It's fine. It's allowed.
it's allowed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Leafs.
What do you think about Mitch Marner being moved down to the fourth line?
If you suck, you suck. Suck it up and fix your shit.
I agree.
This is
I
Babcock,
mean-
not afraid to shake things up. You can be a top tier player on his team. You're not performing.
Yeah. Look what he did to Nylander last year, early last year.
Same thing. Yeah, you're
That
right.
shouldn't be a Leaf standard. That should be the whole NHL. If you're getting paid money to play hockey and you're not doing well, then you should prove that you're doing well. Like, you shouldn't make it up. You shouldn't just get to stay where you are. You know what I mean? There's guys on fire. Connor Brown's on fire. Why should he be held down to the last
That was a
side?
good move. They moved him up, and he
Exactly.
scored some key goals. Like against Washington.
Yeah.
That was a key goal. Picking up the garbage in front of the net.
He was already playing more ice time than all the rest of the guys. He might as well be up on a higher line.
But I'm pretty sure Marner will get back to the.
He
to
will
that line.
eventually.
He will,
Yeah,
he will.
He's not a bad player,
He will.
but he's just not playing well.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's just like a wake up call in that sense. Like, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
when he starts performing on the fourth line, move him back up.
So what do you
Never
think about Toronto's D?
I think they did a good job against Washington. Like they had a lot of shots against, but
I still don't think they're good. They need a lot of improvement.
this is the thing. They're young, and Babcock has his system. The system works. They're all completing the system, but the skill level of the defensemen aren't quite as high as if these defensemen were high. These goalies would be getting a lot more shutouts.
I don't know. I think it's opposite of that. I think they're not doing what Babcock wants, but they're scoring so many goals that everyone's just like being able to overlook the defense. Like, I'm sure behind closed doors he's still ripping them. They're not playing any defense at all.
I don't know. They get to shut out Washington.
Yeah, but to shut out Washington, that was a full team effort. I wouldn't say that was just the defenseman.
Well,
that
yeah,
did
the
that. And
defensemen
Frederick
don't
Anderson stood on his head in that game. How many shots did Ovechkin take on him that he robbed him?
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that, but if you look in that sense, if they can keep Washington off the scoreboard, where Ovechkin has more goals than, like, I don't remember how many teams it is in the NHL alone, that's a big, big improvement.
Well, I think you said it. It's a full team effort. It's supposed
Yeah,
to be
it
a full
is.
team effort.
I agree
So
with that.
Two players don't play defense on the ice. It's all five.
It's got to be. There's got to be back checking, and it's funny how we were talking about Marner. He's not a back checker. That line is not really a.
Last
good
year, he
back
really
checking
showed a
line.
lot of defensive ability, and this year it's like he just floats around center ice and waits for breakaways. I'm not seeing it in him. Like, Connor Brown went out this year and had to prove a point. Like, he went so hard. I still don't like him, but
But it's the right call. He shouldn't be on the fourth
Yeah.
line. If a player's playing well, give him a chance.
he's
move him
gonna
up.
prove that he doesn't belong there, and that's what matters.
But we'll see what happens. So if you guys were the GM of the Montreal Canadiens,
Oh my god, I was just thinking that right now.
what would you guys do?
Should I tell you my stat first?
Yeah.
That including the preseason, Montreal is 3-12-1, and 2 of those wins came from the preseason.
No, I know, but you know
And
what?
Carey Price played most of the preseason games.
But preseason is so.
Okay, whatever. What are they in the regular season? 1-5.
1-6-1.
1-6-1
So
And they
if you
were
guys are
winning
so
like 3-1 yesterday and lost.
I think it's fair to say that they've lost in terms of the Subban and Weber trade. They're on the losing side of it. But I thought that some of the signings that they made would improve the team. Apparently, it's not.
Okay, so what?
Carl Eisner is not. It doesn't.
Yeah,
look
well,
like
look at
he's-
your thing. Okay, you have Shea Weber. Okay, I'm not taking away from Shea Weber. Shea Weber's fine. That's one defenseman. Your number 2 is Carl Alsner. Who the hell is he?
He's old.
He does not deserve that contract. He messed up the whole market for defensemen when a 4 to 6 like spot defenseman is getting paid number 1 defenseman money. Like you messed up.
He was locked up in Arizona.
No, he was locked up in Washington.
Was he?
And Washington let him go. Other than those 2, though, you have nobody because now you don't have Sergachev now either, okay? You gave up Drouin, or you got Drouin, okay? Drouin brings you offense, but you had Radulov that was offense, and then you lost him. So all your Drouin is doing is making up for that. Galchenyuk is playing like trash.
And they lost Markov.
Pacioretty is playing like trash. Plekanec is proving that he's far overpaid for what he does. He's a 3rd, 4th line defenseman playing 1st, 2nd line minutes.
And they lost Markov.
Yeah, so
They
like,
went-
what are you doing?
So,
Carey Price is good,
but I think he hit
best
his,
goalie in the world, but he has rivals now.
I think
Holtby,
I think he hit his breaking point last night, man. Like, when he just snapped after that.
If I'm him,
I
you
saw
go
the nicest goal.
you
Oh
go
my
full
God.
Patty Roy right there, buddy.
Guy
You
broke his
demand a
stick on the
trade.
clapper, and the guy one-timered it. That was a beautiful goal.
But
They're gonna put all their money into one basket right now, and they're gonna go for Duchesne. I guarantee it.
I can see it.
they got to do something, though.
I would give up Gallagher, Galchenyuk, one of them, maybe some other dishy players, throw them in there to juice it up and try to swing.
No, if I'm them,
Duchesne.
you load up whatever prospects you have that are not playing, and get Duchesne because they need that whole team. Their team is so bad.
But here's the problem, man. I don't think they'll give up I don't think Colorado will give up to Duchesne because of the fact that they're actually doing well. They're actually doing pretty decent.
KB, they kind of fell off a bit, but I agree with you. Yes, I think Colorado might make a move to keep him, but Montreal and New York Islanders are going to be the 2 teams that push the hardest to get Duchesne. Maybe even Minnesota.
We don't want to be completely negative about the Habs. It's just the fact that they're not playing well. But there is one guy that came out of nowhere. That rookie Victor Mete. He's actually playing very well for them, and he's but obviously it's not a one-man team. The whole team needs to come together, and something needs to happen for them. And
Even their offense, too. Like, what's their goals forward? Goals for?
crap. They have no offense.
We had this
Druin
conversation
can't do
last
it.
time, like their goal scorers. Like I said, their goal scorer is probably Pacioretty. And now you have Drouin to add into that mix. But Drouin also hasn't really shown his scoring ability either.
No, they're not clicking, man. Sergachev was none of them. They're not producing. They're not clicking.
So can I switch this to something about production?
Yep.
Sure.
How about your boy Ovechkin? What does he have? He's on pace for 102 goals.
20 pounds lighter.
20 pounds later.
And I think you mentioned last week that this is a scary Ovechkin, man.
This
He's back.
is 2010 Ovechkin that he's 50 goals are coming off that stick, guaranteed.
He's back.
This is the Ovechkin that when he first started and everybody was asking who would you rather have, Crosby or Ovechkin. This is the Ovechkin that everybody.
Yeah, this is the Ovechkin that is my favorite player of the modern hockey era.
Black Washington jerseys.
But it's crazy, man, because now
Brandon's
that
back.
hockey is so competitive now, a lot more stars and all that stuff. Like last in the Ovechkin and Crosby days, it's just about them. Now you got the Austin Matthews, you got the Connor McDavids, you got the Stamkoses, you got all these guys, and it's a very, very competitive market, man.
They're loaded with
So,
star
wow.
power right now in the NHL.
There's also
great.
17 to 20
Chain.
players. 17 to 20 players that are on pace for 50 plus goals this year.
But I think when everybody gets into mid-season form, you're going to see a lot more low-scoring games. My opinion.
The thing is, though, you could have 3 low-scoring games in a row as long as you have that one 10-goal game that makes up for all of those low-scoring games in the end. You could score 4 goals one game and score 0 for the next 3 games, and you're still averaging 1.1 goal a game.
But I think this is exactly what the NHL wanted. Point producers.
Now, I don't need to see
that.
20 goals a game. I'm good with watching 2-1 if the game's exciting. Like Toronto versus
game.
Washington that day, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But, like, I don't know, man. What else? What do you got?
I think we just have to. I think they just want to appease the people down south.
Well, it's just a nonsense of if you show more goals, that means that the game's better, right? Soccer's the most watched sport in the world. What do they score? Like 2 goals a game? 3 max?
Yeah, but they're not watching.
That's like a chess match. Soccer.
But that's what hockey is now. It's this game of fast-paced chess where you're just going up and down, and no one does anything ever. But
like that OT winner in Washington, was it last night?
Yeah.
When they did that, they were 4. They had a power play in OT, so it was 4 against 3. And the way they were moving around, Ovechkin didn't even have the puck, and he's going side to side in the umbrella formation. And he floated over to the wing. No one picked him up because he kept his legs moving, got the one-timer and buried it.
And did you see the relief on his face because he just hammered them all night last night and wasn't able to get that goal until the overtime winner.
Yeah,
it's like
finally. That was beautiful.
What was it, Steve Montour or whatever on?
That's what I was talking about. The one time when the stick broke and he buried it roof show on thing.
That was nasty. That
was a beautiful
McDavid
shot.
passed the other night. That reverse pass, no look to have no clue. He had no clue where that guy was, and it was right on his stick.
He just expected him to be there.
That's how hockey should be.
Yeah,
that was
like if you're playing your position.
Play of the years. Even that Pasternak deke when he came right through and deked everybody out and scored.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys think that Edmonton will come out of it?
I don't know.
I think they're going to make the playoffs, but they're not going to finish as high as they did. It's going to be the playoffs that determines them, is what I think.
I think so as well.
Their division is a lot tougher. Like, standings-wise, you have Tampa Bay, Toronto, St. Louis, New Jersey, LA is the top 5. Like, compared to last year, that's so different that that's like a whole nother world.
Tampa Bay wasn't up there.
LA has 0 losses. LA is like 6-0-1 or something like that.
Yeah, they have 1 OT loss, no loss in regulation.
And they only have allowed 10 goals. The next closest team to them is like 18.
Vegas is up there too.
Vegas is 5-0, 5-1-1, I think. Something like that.
That's crazy.
Oh, I have it right here.
That is crazy. I mean, good for them, but that's nuts. That's nuts.
Vegas is 5-1-0, and they're 7th overall in the complete NHL standings.
That is crazy.
This is the thing, though. How do they keep winning, and when does it stop? Because there's no way this is sustainable to keep going at this
Vegas
rate. Yeah.
Like we've been saying, mid-season form. Like, I don't think that team's going to be a top dog through the whole season. There's no way they can maintain it, in my opinion.
What about Arizona? 0 wins.
I know. And I thought they'd have a good year.
Yeah, so did I.
I thought they would have a good year. Like, maybe not top team, but
there was
mid-pack.
3 teams for me there, and it was Carolina, New Jersey, Arizona as like the young, full of like potential teams that were going to blow up this year. And they're 6-1, I think. Phoenix.
They're 6-1. Yeah.
They are trash.
Yeah.
They are straight trash.
Well, we said that Edmonton was going to be one of the top teams this year. Right now, they're trash too.
Draisaitl. Do you think his injury is the reason?
I think it hurts them.
It hurts them.
Offensively, for numbers, yes, I agree.
It hurts them, but
I agree. I thought Calgary was going to be a good team. They're doing all right.
Yo, Yager is on the first line.
That was
45-year-old.
This is the thing, though. This is where you make this mistake. You had a guy who was willing to come into this team just because he wants to keep playing hockey. He wanted to spread his knowledge. That was what he wanted. He didn't care if he played on the 4th line, the 3rd line, as long as he was playing. And you took this guy and you put him on the 1st line, and I don't think that's right because you have such a talented team there and you're taking away a spot from someone who should have that. Yager should be on a more defensive line. That's where I see Yager.
But he's not really a defensive structured player.
Yeah, but he's so his
back
IQ,
check,
his IQ is like
through the roof.
$1 million.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But his back checking, turnovers, for him to get back and stuff like that with the pace in the NHL right now, I don't think he's that quick.
But that's why. But you put him on a 3rd line of scoring where you have like your Kachuk or whoever, and then Yager.
Like I'm not saying him being on the first line is a good idea, but obviously they have a reason for it.
That's his reason for the first line is he's the defensive player with two quick guys. That's what they're thinking, right? You have what is it, Monahan or Bennett and Gaudreau, and then like you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but now you have Yager, who's your net front presence on that line as well, which they were probably lacking too.
Yeah, I guess.
Because later in Yager's career, I noticed most of his goals were coming right inside the wheelhouse, right on the low slot.
Mike Smith has been playing pretty decently for them. That team's just not like they're not clicking full right now. I think they could do a lot better. I have here.
They're 4-3 right now.
Yeah, that's okay.
8 points. They're good. One more win, they're in second.
Okay, so here, let's do this right now. This Stanley Cup odds that have been from people placing bets and NHL. So the Leafs are 8-1 odds, number one.
Jeez.
Y'all need to relax.
Okay, everyone who's telling Leaf people, guy in the Leaf jersey, to relax needs to relax because the Leafs are for real. Even if every team is going to hit a losing streak at some point. But the way this team is playing, when you watch them play and they make passes, it's like they don't even need to look where they are. They're making like these cross ice, through the legs, no look passes, and it's always connecting. The problem that they have is they never shoot. It's like pass, and nobody wants to shoot the puck. And their power play pisses me off.
They don't need to shoot. Matthews will shoot.
Oh, okay. So second is the Lightning, 9-1.
Yeah, the way they're playing, yeah.
Blackhawks, Oilers, Penguins are tied at 12-1.
I don't think the Oilers should
Ducks
be up there.
are 14-1, and Blues are 14-1. That's the
Blues
top
are looking
five.
nice.
Blues is doing well, man.
I like the way St. Louis is looking.
Jaden Schwartz.
Yeah, get out of here. Whoever picked that was just like a guess. Nick.
Is Dallas up there?
No.
I'm surprised.
That was it. That's all I had for those. You have Carlson and Bergeron both made huge comebacks.
Yeah.
Carlson has 3 assists in 2 games. Bergeron has 4 points in 1 game. 1 game.
You picked Bergeron?
I picked Carlson, buddy.
I know. What do you think about Brent Burns?
I don't know. I think there's no one for him to play with. And
That's what I think.
His straight volume of shots can't win. It's like Ellis. Like Ellis, from what you saw Ellis doing in the playoffs to what he's doing right now, it's like a whole different world. Like they were just volume shooters. Like Carlson has 10 shots in the 2 games he's been back. That like imagine the offense you're helping. That's a good game tonight. Ottawa Leafs.
There's a lot of good games on tonight.
Raptors.
You have even New York and who are they facing? Houston.
No, but
Game
you got
7.
some good stuff.
Yeah.
There's a few games already I've seen.
I think it's gonna be probably like one of the biggest tests for the Leafs tonight.
Yeah, because I think Ottawa is legit.
Yep.
I think they're a good rival. Like their games are always competitive.
Our Ottawa-Toronto rivalry is like a real rivalry where we don't have a rivalry with Montreal anymore. There's just no rivalry.
So here's a question.
Just
Like,
I don't think
I actually
anyone
heard
does
this.
anymore.
I actually heard
It's
this
an
on the
automatic
radio today. They asked who's Toronto's biggest rivalry.
I heard that yesterday. Yeah.
And I was actually kind of like thinking that myself because Ottawa-Toronto's kind of like sort of cooled off a bit.
It's got to be between Ottawa or Boston.
They didn't even list Boston. The Detroit was there.
Buffalo.
They said
there.
Montreal, but that kind of cooled off as well.
Montreal, and I think Ottawa was number 1.
Yeah.
Voted by fans. Then Montreal, and then it was Detroit at like 4%.
Okay, but if you're
I
gonna
think
go
for
classic
old
Leaf
fans-
ones, Boston and Buffalo are in there too.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather Detroit's not even really a rival.
Yeah, it is. They were in the
kinda,
90s
well,
like crazy.
Yeah, but look at Boston though.
For old
I think
fans,
Boston's more of a rival.
yeah, I think so too.
For old fans, it was Buffalo, Ottawa, Montreal. That was the
it
rivalry.
was Montreal. I was going to say
knew
Montreal in Ottawa.
But you knew that. We were going into Buffalo. You knew Rob Ray and Ty Domi were going to throw down, and it was going to happen. Or Bob Probert and Ty
That's
Domi
for
with
old
Detroit.
fans.
But I'm saying
But
that's
I'm saying
what
for now.
From the 80s till like recently, those were the rivalries.
Yeah.
The 5. But
But
now
like
it's
right now.
it's just Ottawa.
I was gonna say based on the draft, I was gonna say Winnipeg. So let's talk about the rookies. Dude on jersey, I keep getting his name wrong.
Nico Hischier.
There you go.
Nico Hischier.
7 points. Kind of outshining Patrick a little bit, don't you think?
I you know what? I didn't think Patrick was going to be that great to begin with. He's not that type of offensive like star player. He's more of like a two-way.
And if you look at how New Jersey's playing as well,
Who would have thought that would happen, huh? I didn't expect that at all, man.
their team
Tyler's
is really
playing
young. They have I think like 7 players in their like low 20s or teens.
It's a potential team. Mm-hmm. Buffalo, Arizona, and what was the other one I kept saying? Carolina.
Arizona, get it together.
Yeah, I need to see. It hurts me to see Duclair and Max Domi in like not playing well because they had that 1 year and I was just like, these guys are gonna blow up. Max Domi's so skilled.
They're like that line combo that you can have on a team that can put it up, like put up numbers.
Now, Philadelphia's just like their offensive power is.
Are
like,
they back?
Oh my gosh.
Are they back?
Yeah, they're back. What are you talking about? Voracek is amazing. Giroux is amazing this year. Wayne Simmons is amazing. You added in Nolan Patrick. Then you have the other guy. Who's the other guy on their team that's doing really well?
I'm thinking in wall.
No, they have another forward. I can't even think of who it is, but
Let's see if we're gonna
Gothisbehere, their defenseman's up in the top.
Doing good.
He's 15th for points.
Yeah, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of... The East is really strong this year, man.
Yep. So let's take a look at some league leaders. So last week, you had 3 top dogs, all Washington. Things have changed.
Yeah, well, that's because they played last night.
Who?
Tampa Bay.
Oh, that's why?
Or whatever. They played a game where they wrecked it, and they got so many points in one game.
Well, right now you got Stamkos, 14, Kucherov, 13, Schwartz. Who would have thought he'd be up there? 12. And then you got Backstrom, Kuznetsov, Ovi, 12, 12, 11. And then our boy Matthews, 10. Sid the Kid, 10. Evander Kane, he's putting some value into his name again. He's playing well.
He's playing well.
Like
So
his
hopefully
trade value's
stays in check.
His value's going up. And then you got Jack Eichel and him are tied with 10. All these guys have 10. Patty Kane, Malkin, Goudreau, Petrangelo, Gothisbehere, Mike Green, Voracek, and then we start getting into the lower guys.
Great year to be in the NHL, man. A lot of stars breaking out. A lot of point production.
Oh, yeah. They got Connor McDonald. Connor McDavid's brother.
And another thing, too. Malkin, OT winners. He's the all-time leader in Pittsburgh. Is it Ovechkin?
Ovechkin is the all-time leader in all time.
Yeah, I'm talking about Pittsburgh
Overtime.
franchise.
Yeah,
he passed Lemieux.
Yeah, he passed Lemieux for overtime winners. Ovechkin just passed everyone in the whole NHL for overtime winners.
Yeah, just
so which
give
one's
him a
more
little
important
shout
there,
out.
huh?
Little shout out.
Leave a little like at the bottom. Tell us who is better.
That's not a bad idea.
So
No,
if you were Lemieux and Gretzky, would you be nervous with what's going on?
No, why would you be nervous?
No.
If anything, it's a goals thing, and me personally, I don't think Gretzky would be offended by anyone beating any of his records, especially not goals. He didn't care about goals. Goal was not his thing. He just was so good that you couldn't stop him from scoring goals.
He's a W, man.
Yeah, but as a player, like you don't and a holder of like over 50 NHL records, you don't want to see any of your records.
But you do want to see them beat because you want to see the game that you played progress. Obviously, you don't want to lose every record you own. Like Gretzky's never going to not be first place in points. It's impossible. It's physically impossible. No one will ever do that. But you want to see like a couple of things. You want to be proud of them, but you know you're eventually going to go. You want to pass on your torch, right? But I don't know.
If you look at it too in that sense, his records have been up there for how long already?
Worst case scenario, worst and best case scenario, which is the same thing in this situation, is Ovechkin's going to get more than 70 goals. There's no way he's passing 80. There's not even a chance. 70 goals is going to be his best, and I say at the worst, he's going to be 50-ish, which is good because who scored 50 goals last year? One guy? Maybe not even one guy?
Nobody.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 40. Crosby was goals. It was like 47.
48 or 49.
Nobody got to 50.
I think it was 48.
Yep.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews.
Saucy Matthews. So let's take a look at our draft here. Let's do some power rankings. So not much has changed. You got Bargo in first, Caps in second, Campbell third, Drew in fourth.
It's going to change tonight.
It's funny how you said not much has changed. The last time when you did this update, he was 26 points behind. How many points is he behind right now?
I was going to get to that if you let me finish, okay?
Yeah, sure. That's what he says.
I'm going to go through the week.
I'll see you in the week.
This week, you got Campbell hit up 37 points, Drew hit 32, Caps hit 28, and then I hit 26 this week. So I'm not having a good week.
Kucherov.
Campbell's having the best week.
What about the other pool? Do you have the other pool open? The
Auto?
computer-generated one? Yeah.
Our auto draft? Yeah, give me a sec.
You can get that right now.
That one was really close the last time I checked, like 1 point separating everybody.
I dropped from first to third. Campbell's crew's in first. Drew's team is in second. Bargo's team third. And Nick's genius team is in fourth.
Well, I didn't get the chance to pick my players. That's
Well, nobody did. So,
so
the computer clearly knows I'm the best.
It's not my fault. You can talk about who's pretty close in first place in the other pool, the third one.
Well, that's
the
where
big one.
Well, I'm third.
And who's in second?
Tied with 6
who's
people
the second?
over third.
Who's the second?
Yeah, you by 1 point. I don't like you. But I don't know.
Can't mention the person that's in first.
We won't speak his name. My boy Junes. You suck, by the way. Keep telling us how many points you have because you're going to be at the bottom soon like you are every year. I don't know, guys. What are you saying? Let's make some chili?
Alright, guys. Concludes this episode of 5 for Talking. Don't forget, throw up likes, leave comments, share, and subscribe.
Subscribe!
I'm going for lunch.